Ade Oladipo here for pro boxing fans with a bored Dave Coldwell.
With you.
No, bored in general. It's a nice place to be, but there isn't much to do here.
No, there isn't. I'm the kind of person that I need to be doing something all the time, and so yeah, it's getting hard work for me. But I've been in places like that before. It's like I think when we was out in Japan, it was the same. But yeah, I shall go and do a little bit of training in a bit. Have a little bit of move around with Hopey as well later on tonight. So my evening will go pretty fast. It's just this downtime in the day, really.
How does Hopey handle a situation like this? I mean, have to cut weight? I mean, is he just in the hotel just chilling as well?
He makes the weight easy. He's massive for the weight, but he makes weight easy. I mean, this one, because we was preparing for December 19th. We got a call 10 days before the fight. So this fight is going to be at 9 stone.
Okay.
So it's like double easy. So his weight's not an issue. But yeah, so I didn't want to, because he's young. I'm not into this making him make a weight. It's like I didn't start training him as a super bantamweight. It's just that's a weight that he can make easily. He could actually make bantamweight, but because he's growing, I don't want to go against nature. So he'll do super bantamweight easy. But with it being, he had his first fight, and then gave him a week. In fact, I don't think he had a week off. I think he came in after about 4 days, just tick over and just learning to improve, not necessarily training for the fight, just getting back in the gym, and because I don't want to put too much stress on his body, get him down in weight early. I just coming at 9 stone for this fight, so they've got as an opponent at featherweight for this.
Have you any sign of his opponent yet? No one seems to have seen him at the moment.
The agent and management of the opponent's here, so I presume he's here. In fact, I think he got, I think I got told he got in either yesterday morning or the previous night. I don't know what they're saying. Might be saying at a different hotel, but I haven't seen him.
I saw Hopey yesterday at the press conference, almost like a fan more than anything, just mingling around, taking pictures of the boxers as well, like a fan. He's enjoying himself though, apart from obviously obscurity here. He's enjoying himself.
Yeah, that's what I said to him. You've just soak it up. That a fight's a fight, but it's the environment. It's the who's mingling around, who's going to be around there. The masses of the cameras, the guys like yourself doing interviews. Excuse me. That's all part of the experience. That's all part of building a fighter. So hopefully, as his career goes the way that we want it to, he becomes used to stuff like that, and he can always remain himself in front of a camera rather than having to be media trained or rather being unsure about what to say. Is that a bit of stick? Because in interviews and everything he's been fine, and then before his first fight at the press conference, I said to him before he went up on the table, just messing him out. I said, "Don't bottle it." I'm not going to bottle it. I'm fine around cameras. And then he got in front when Eddie asked him a question. He was like, he didn't know what to say. So he's had a lot of stick for that. Just having a laugh and poking a bit of fun at him, like you would do with any 19-year-old. But then the press conference yesterday, he had hundreds of cameras in front of him. Not like a few, hundreds of cameras at him, packed out place, and he spoke really well. And he handled it really, really well. So it shows he's adapting, he's learning it, and he is a fast learner. So I think he's enjoying it. I've just said, just enjoy who's around here. Get to speak to who you want, take plenty of pictures, memories. Do you know what I mean? These kind of things are memories, and sometimes you don't appreciate what you're doing now because you're always thinking about what you want, where you want to get to. I want to be world champion. I want to be British champion. I want to be this. I can't wait to fight then. You're doing it now, man. Enjoy it. This here on this bill, it's once in a lifetime.
You're right. It is a crazy experience. I mean, me and Rob from Boxing Social saying exactly the same thing. You've got to enjoy these because in 20 years' time, you don't know if people are going to refer to this as the Rumble in the Jungle or the Thriller in Manila. It's important. But good luck to Hopey tomorrow. Question I was going to ask you about Derek Chisora. Is there still a possible working relationship there? Is that kind of been severed now completely, or?
Not that I know of. He won his last fight, so. So I would think that he's happy with his training team that he's got now. Obviously, it's closer to home, so he doesn't have to travel and stay up near me. So I don't think so.
You would think, and look, this is all like hypothetical, but you think obviously if a fight with Usyk does happen, you train Bellew for Usyk. Bellew done well in that fight, early rounds. You think he'd want to get a bit of experience from the guy that maybe caused Usyk a few problems?
I don't know. I seen an interview where I think Haymaker, David A, they said that they're going to speak to Tony about it.
Yeah. Over your head.
Yeah, Tony's the one that was in there with him. They haven't mentioned anything about speaking to me. But if they want to speak to me, they can speak to me. Me and Derek still talk. Still see him as friends. Saw him. He came into the changing rooms when Fowler fought the other week.
I saw you ringside with him, wasn't you?
Yeah. I sat with him. It's still the same. It's just that I'm not his trainer anymore. I'm not his coach anymore. If he wants to talk, then he can always talk. But what I will say is that the tactics and the way that Tony approached that fight aren't something that Derek can do. It's completely different. So Derek's a completely different fighter. The opponent's the same, but Derek's a completely different fighter. So if Derek was to try and box and try and outsmart Usyk or try and box on the back foot with Usyk, it's not happening. I think there's one way that Derek knows how to fight in this fight. He's just got to be clever about it. You can't just go in there like Marco Huck swinging and hoping to just rush him and land big bombs at him, because Usyk will get him falling about. So he's got to be intelligent about it, but go about it the Chisora way.
How good is Usyk? I mean, you was up close and personal. You saw how good he was. It seemed like he was almost going through the gears against Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew done well, but you almost felt like there was another gear Usyk could go, and he went in that gear. Special talent?
Very special talent. It's going to be interesting to see how he copes at heavyweight. A lot of people give him a bad rep because of his first fight. He'd been out like a year. That's detrimental, especially somebody of that sort of style. It's the first fight where he's put on a bit of weight, so he's got to adjust to that as well. He's fighting bigger men. It takes a little bit of getting into a division. It's like, we say that about when fighters move up from super bantam to feather, lightweight to light welter. We always say, it takes them a couple of fights until they're naturally, they've grown into division. Well, when you're moving up from cruiserweight to heavyweight, from fighting guys at 14 stone 4 to 17 stone, it's a big jump.
6'6".
Yeah, you know what I mean. You've got a big jump to make, but ultimately he's a very, very talented fighter. He's he's exceptional, and he's got an exceptional brain. His attitude and his thought process is phenomenal. He's got great feet. He'll adapt. It's just about his body getting into the division, but he'll adapt. He's blown off some ring rust from the last fight. I see him as being a massive threat in the division. As long as, and I can't see it being an issue with the camp that he's in, as long as, sometimes when fighters put on weight, they change the style a little bit, try and be a little bit stronger, try and compete with strength. He doesn't have to try and compete with strength. People's going on about, he doesn't punch hard enough. You don't need to punch hard enough to knock people out. You need to be able to deter them. You need to be able to keep your boxing together. And the shots that Usyk hits you with, it's an accumulative effect. He's never been a one-punch knockout man, but he's always hit hard enough. In the amateurs he's boxed big men before. He fought Joe Joyce, who is a juggernaut, and it was just going through everybody like a freight train in the amateurs. So strong, so powerful. Well, he didn't just, for the first couple of rounds, outbox Joe Joyce. He then started pushing him back, and started beating him up. Well, so styles and brain and boxing ability can negate, if just because somebody's bigger and stronger than you can kind of take that away from them.
Last couple of questions, Dave. We spoke at the public workout, but before, we didn't see Joshua. We spoke before Joshua came out. Joshua came out to gasp. People were like, my God, look at the size of him. He looks like he could come below 17 stone. Were you shocked at that?
Do you know what? I've seen the pictures. It's very... So you see pictures on Instagram and stuff like that, and you think, oh, he looks like he's sleek, he's leaner. But then when you see it in person, it's like, wow, that is such a big change. So you don't actually see it properly until you see it in person. And you know what? He looks in fighting shape. It's not about muscles and bodybuilding and looking great in front of the mirror for pictures where he looks massive. Oh, he's a unit. It's not about that. This is fighting. This is boxing. It looks like he's trained to be a boxer. I like it. Do you know what I liked? He didn't do a lot. He just got in and shadow boxed and stretched and did a couple of little things. But it was the mechanics of him and how supple he looked. He's never looked supple. When he's just gone in shadow box before, he's always been a little bit mechanical and a bit stiff. The stiffness seems to have gone from him. He was very elasticated in his muscles, and he's just bouncing on his legs. And you look at his quads. His quads looked in great shape, but they looked conditioned. They weren't just big and bulky. They looked in condition, real. But again, his legs was when he was squatting down and springing up, they looked conditioned. Everything in that regard, I like that. I like his attitude. I like that he's been a bit arsey.
Do you like that?
Oh, yeah, man. Listen, he can't win. When he's talking all nicey and this and that and all that, people are saying, you're media trained, you're talking to please people, this, right? When he lets it go a little bit and he's a little bit raw, people are like, I should be talking like that, is this? No, I like that. I think, do you know what? He's talking like a fighter. Fighters get a bit arsey when they come up to fights.
I like the no haircut as well.
Yeah, old school. Old school. Listen, I mean, haircuts and the way you speak and stuff like that, it makes no difference when you're getting hit on chin, But what it does do is it gives you a little insight into where the head's at. And I like it. I like his attitude. I like the fact that he's turned around and said, I want people, I go and beat Ruiz. What are you going to do? People can bow down to me. He's talking about the people that have written him off all the way through. He's achieved a lot in his career, and he's only had the least amount of fights out of the other guys, right? But he's not had the credit. He's not had the respect. And I think people forget that he's actually been learning on the job. You forget that he's beaten Povetkin. He's beaten Dylan White. He's beaten Vladimir Klitschko. He's beaten Joseph Parker. Mate,
it's incredible.
Every one of those are top fighters in the heavyweight climate right now. He's beaten all them, but yet still not good enough. And then Andy Ruiz did what he did. To be fair, it's something that was always probably going to happen because of what he was doing at the time. Now he's again, that is part of a fighter's experience. You can't say to a young prospect that gets beat, right? You can't say to him, a loss doesn't matter as long as you learn from it. You can come back a better fighter. You can learn from that. That can make you as a man. That can make you as a fighter. You can't say that to a young prospect that just lost his unbeaten record. And then, because he's heavyweight champion of the world, say, you're finished.
Makes absolutely no sense, does it?
You can't say that. It's the same applies for both men. So why can't Anthony Joshua have looked at that, learnt from his mistakes, thought, right, I shouldn't be doing this. This is wrong. That I need to add this to my game. Can't just go back in a straight line. I need to learn what to do when I'm under pressure. I need to do this. I need to do that. Okay. Him and Rob have sat down. Right, well, let's bring this in. Let's bring that in. They brought in Angel Fernandez in, who's a wicked coach. Very good coach. Knows his shit. I rate him highly, and he's a good fella as well. So he's adding things to his game. It's like building blocks. So he's already got this block that's took him to become heavyweight champion of the world, winning 3 belts. So now they're looking at adding blocks, right? And these different perspectives, perhaps also looking at the fight, now he understands about the mistakes that he made. Because he lost the fight because of the mistakes he made. He drops Ruiz, rushes straight in. Doesn't think about any counter-punching. Doesn't think about any... One thing we always said is Ruiz can put his hands together really fast. Because everyone was like joking about it because he's such a big guy, big fat guy. Look at hand speed on him, right? But if that's the case, you don't go into his range. As soon as he nailed him, he rushed into his range, gets dropped, big shot, never really recovered. But then even as the rounds went on, every time he'd catch Ruiz with a good shot that just knocked his head back, he'd lunge straight into that range again, get punished straight again. He never learnt during the fight. A big thing for fighters is they must learn during the fight as the fight's unfolded. But he never did that. Now he's had months to learn from it and to correct those mistakes, and he's got to be disciplined that whenever he catches a clean shot on Ruiz's chin, in his face, whatever, not to get giddy about it. Remain disciplined, remain calm, remain calculated, be like a surgeon, not a butcher.
I dare say you sound a bit more confident than you did 2 days ago.
Yeah, I am. Do you know, I liked what I saw at the workout. I liked his frame of mind. But then to balance that up, when I watched Ruiz get in the ring, now I've never seen Ruiz up close. I always have this thing about, it doesn't matter how much I rate a fighter, when I see him up close, as in where I'm on the ring canvas and out up close, so from a coach's perspective, when I'm in the corners against them, that's when I really appreciate how good they are, and I see what the little things that they do. Just, mate, Ruiz was good. Everyone's talking about his hand speed. His hand speed was fast, it was good, it was correct. But there was the two other things which I never really gave Ruiz not as much credit as perhaps as what in the flesh jumped out at me. One, his feet are very fast. For a fat guy, that shocked me, you know, because his feet were very fast. He closed the range down really, really well. And two, you can see specifically they've worked on his defence when he's throwing. Every time he was throwing himself, his hands was in position, blocking everything, whatever he was doing, he was back into position. Because they know that AJ found a gap and he got nailed with a shot that he didn't see that put him down. The shots that he sees, he kind of handled all right, but the shot that put him down, he didn't see. You know, I think the right uppercut lifted his head up, and the left hook he never saw it just come straight through. And that's what dropped him. When he dropped, he was shocked. He never saw it. They're the shots that do damage. Now, so you can see that looking at taking that away, and the thing is as well, it's one of those fights where you can genuinely see both men winning. What's going to happen when those moments when Ruiz gets close? Has AJ learned enough to be able to manage those moments? That's all he has to do. He doesn't have to fight Ruiz on the inside. He has to manage those moments. When Ruiz gets in that range, remember Lennox Lewis used to just forearm down, head under the armpit and just bend his knees, sink a little shot in, one shot, boom, like that. Just a little dig in the ribs or in the upper, bring an uppercut up, just nullify him. And doing that counter slate tires guys out, you know, breaks the rhythm. He's got to do that. He's got to break Ruiz's rhythm, not let him get into a rhythm. Have a good jab. A good jab, you'd be surprised how much that takes the sting out of and strength out of a fighter. Just a good jab, ping, ping, stick it downstairs, a ping, just things like that. But it can't be a flicky jab on your way out. He's kind of got to be authoritative with his jab. But then because of, I expect Ruiz's defence to be as it is, feints are going to be so important. Joshua's got to be feinting. He's got to feint to make his hands move into a position where he can get clean shots off. You know, throw a double jab rather than just looking at a single jab. You know, be willing to touch the first jab on the glove so the second jab gets through. There's so many different ways. There's so many things that he has to do in different spots. So many things that he has to be able to do in different spots in order to win it. Ruiz just has to kind of like do what he did the first time round, but not let AJ get off to a good start, because he needs to put the doubt into AJ's head straight away. He can't afford AJ to start feeling confident and remember what it's like to be this champion, be this lion. He's got to make him think, shit, it's happening again. You know, it's got to make him feel those body shots. It's a good fight, man. I actually believe that for as many things that Joshua's got to do in this fight at the right time, I think he's going to do it.
Final question, Dave, and always great insightful knowledge. You've managed, you've boxed, you've trained, you've promoted, you've done everything in boxing, commentated. Which one do you enjoy the most?
Do you know what? I love managing fighters. I love, you know, plotting and planning where you're going to take them next. But the fighters that I've worked with for these last 5-6 years, I've had the time of my life. I love it. And do you know what? I'm lucky enough that I work with some really good. Number one, talented fighters. Number two, they actually appreciate what the work that I put in, and every one of them's been friends. So I'm enjoying that. I love that. And then I love working with Sky. I love the punchy stuff that I do. I work for Sky. I work for. I'm doing stuff for BT with Ultimate Boxer. I love that stuff because I love the sport. So I get to talk about the sport. So if I've got a job where I'm talking about boxing, that's wicked.
I think there was a petition like on Twitter to get you back on Sky commentary full time. I think I saw it. Yeah.
I don't know how many votes that got. No, it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I do get a lot of nice feedback.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're always going to get the haters. You can't please everybody. Always going to get people that yeah. But it doesn't matter who it is, whether you're Macklin, Malinage, David A, anybody. It doesn't matter who it is that's speaking on Sky. There are going to be people that love him, and then you got this little pocket that hate him and get him off my TV, or I'll turn it on mute when he's talking. It's just how life is. You can't please everybody, so I don't really care really. As long as I'm enjoying myself and I'm doing what I'm doing. Every time I get asked, I find it a privilege. When you guys ask me for an interview, I'm privileged to be in that spot because I remember when I was starting out, and I remember when I see everybody else getting interviewed, and you just float back. Nobody knew who you were, and you never get asked, and you're like, one day, that's going to be me, and and then you're there, and it's nice. I think it's funny because people, I see as well. Twitter's wicked. I see it as well. Where people think that. I think people think that I go to you and say I want an interview.
That doesn't happen, people. We chase him. It
doesn't work that way because you don't do that. You can't go up. This is your business. This is your gig. I can't come up to you and say I want an interview. Are we doing this interview? No. And they even think that with Sky. I think because people moan about me being it's never off a camera or this. Because I get fucking asked. Do you know what I mean? I'm getting asked.
You can't please them all.
I can't go to Sky and say... There's actually people out there that think that I go to Sky and say, I want to work the show tonight. You're going to let me work the show tonight and take the mic off them and start speaking. No, it doesn't happen that way. I get asked. So I'm fortunate enough and privileged enough that I actually do get asked because I enjoy what I'm doing. And I don't really care what people like that thing, because otherwise if you lived your life by worrying about people not liking you or not rating you wouldn't have the arse to do anything. You wouldn't do anything. What happens if somebody don't like the way that you walk? You're not going to walk because people don't like, he walks right funny him. You're just going to do what you do. That's how it is.
There you go. Dave Coldwell, funny, fantastic, insightful. Thanks a lot for speaking to us.
Nice one. Thanks for that.
Top man.